Ahoy! And I'm going to talk to you today about Flavour Fatigue, as I posted about testing out a new gel, this one in particular, Precision Fuel 30 gram carb gel. And I mentioned in that it might be good for sort of stopping flavour fatigue or helping to prevent flavour fatigue. And a couple of people messaged me saying, what is flavour fatigue? So I'm here today to tell you what flavour fatigue is and how I've experienced it and why this sort of gel might be handy for it. So ultimately, flavour fatigue is where you become desensitized to a particular flavour, ultimately causing sort of a nausea. So, for example, cut to me in the arc of attrition, I remember being at roughly 24 hours, which was at the limits of what I'd run previously. And I was having to have a gel and then a swig of water, a bit of gel, swig of water, because it just wouldn't go down. Every time I put it in my mouth, I just wanted to gip. It just wasn't going down. And that is essentially what flavour fatigue is. You just can't seem to get the gel down once you've had a few of these. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what's really the issue with that? Of course, if you have anything too much, you're going to have that. The reason why it's quite a big negative in an ultramarathon is, of course, if you started to get that feeling where you don't want to eat and you can't get stuff down, of course, then you get underfueling, underhydration, and ultimately you're not going to perform well and potentially either DNF or bonk and not be able to finish the race, and you're not going to have a good day of it. Realistically, a gel like the Precision Fuel 30 carb gel is a good gel to have because it doesn't really have a flavour. It's quite gentle. It's kind of unoffensive in its flavourings, whereas in previous times, in my three ultras I've done previously, I've either used a Torque gel or the High Five gel. Again, these aren't bad gels, and I've used them. Like I said, when I had flavour fatigue on the arc of attrition, I was using the Torque gel, but I've run an ultra marathon for 120 miles and only used these and not had an issue. The High Five Aqua Gel is a gel I've also run 100 miles on. I really like this gel just because it's like not thick, it's just basically like water. However, it does have really sharp corners on. If you have one of those Solomon running vests, that cuts through the mesh, so make sure you do trim the corners before you put them in your running vest. But anyway, how to prevent running flavour fatigue really is in my opinion and in my experience, would be to have a sort of really gentle flavour. So the Precision Fuel gel has just a very minor citrusy flavour. Make sure you're trying to take on different flavours, whether that be salty, sweet, and all different textures as well can help you get through that. So yeah, that is flavour fatigue in a nutshell. I'll catch you on the next one.